Everybody, welcome aboard a plane from the 1940s here in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yes, 80-year-old planes like this always have, some cliches that come along with them. I mean, for example, they're very known for having been extremely luxurious. And for example, this plane from the cabin is incredibly luxurious. I mean, we don't only have one bar, but we've got two bars. Look at the bars here. Even empty wine glasses. Very luxurious indeed. Yes. Another cliche about old planes like this, of course, also the safety record. They used to crash all the time. So they're, very unsafe planes. And for these two cliches for planes from the 1940s, I found a perfect example. Yes, everybody, welcome aboard this big boy, which has recently been released for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Welcome aboard the Latécoère, La 631, something like that. I don't know. Let's ask Google Translate.
Latécoère 631.
Oui. Bienvenue à bord du Latécoère 631. Perfect. Maybe the name is the reason why this plane doesn't fly today. Or the other reason could be World War II, but let's talk about that later on. You can buy this plane now from the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 store here for $10. It was, made partly by Microsoft themselves and also the developers of Blue Mesh. I've never heard of those, actually. But yes, $10 sounds like an amazing deal for such a cool plane. I mean, you could already see the cabin. Absolutely amazing. But of course, for this release, Microsoft released this interesting trailer here. Amazing trailer. Really dope here. As part of this local legend update, they brought it out, and check out this beautiful seaplane here. Yeah, cool animations. Actually, this plane is regarded as one of the most realistic, hydroplanes we've had so far. Planes that can go on water. Check out, we've got a proper boat in that one. Absolument magnifique. Great. And so everybody, today's video, let's explore how luxurious but also unsafe this plane was. Great. But first of all, let's spawn into La Mole Airport here in the south of France. Oh, we've flown here many times before. All right, so welcome aboard this plane. Can you actually spawn it onto runway, even though it's, of course, a seaplane? I mean, we've got these rolls here, which is actually really cool. I mean, come on, let's maybe start up the engines here. Yeah. Oh, fire and smoke. Exactly how I want to see it here on these 6 piston engines. Yes, this plane's got as many engines as an Antonov. But it's basically an Antonov. Check out this long nose. Check out how big this plane is. This plane was known for breaking incredible amounts of records. It had its first flight in 1942. And at that time, it was the largest plane ever built. By the way, we're starting up. Oh, yeah, that was some proper fire. Oh, great, yeah. Now, this, of course, was a long-haul plane back before when runways were really built. So this is why it's, of course, a seaplane. And it also got a record for flying the longest flight, transatlantic, from one place to another. I forgot the names of the cities, but that was a 2,700-mile long journey. Yes, this plane could fly from distances. Now, something I'm trying to do here is give in full power so we can kind of use this wheel that's, made for transporting this plane on land as a landing gear, but we can't be able to use it. But come on, let's maybe just spawn it into the Mediterranean Sea. Only one of many oceans this special plane could see during its career. Yes, this plane, flew all around the world. Asia, Europe, America, you name it. Even though only 11 of these were built. Come on, let's maybe go full power. Come on, can we get into the water? Yeah. Come on, launch it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. We are in water. We are properly in water. That's actually been pretty cool. We can see some really good animation here in the water. And now we're setting off this plane to go full power. Yes, we are taking off in the wide ocean. This is something that is always interesting to me. Because, you can't overrun the ocean unless you actually strand it. But, you know what I mean. This is, miles long. We have plenty of time to take off. We've got the flaps fully set at 17 degrees. Yeah, check this out. Come on, take off now. Yeah, so now that we're in the air, we can finally check out the insides of this airplane properly, which there's lots to do. There's lots of things to check out. All right, welcome to the cockpit here. Of course, this is all VFR flying. Even though this plane was known for having very sophisticated navigation, devices. But yeah, we can see a lot outside, even the engines themselves. They all have 1,200 horsepower each, which is great. And now, everybody, let's maybe check out this incredibly huge cockpit, the biggest cockpit I've ever seen. So this is of course, the pilot himself, the captain, and the first officer. We've got some, this looks like from submarine. Got the throttle controls here on the roof. This is absolutely cool. We've got the trims that are set with these proper wheel things. I don't know what they're called. Check this out. So damn cool. We've got an interesting amount of 4 pedals here for the captain, which I don't know what they are. But this is rudder. And this is something else. Maybe a rest. I don't know. Now, this right here is the, I think, navigation. I'm pretty sure section. Yeah, here the navigator would... Oh, we have a Morse code. Oh, that is so cool. It doesn't really sound like a Morse code. That's for sure. That is really nice. Yep. Radio, transmission, all the cool stuff. Really nice. We've got a proper chart here with an airplane where we are going. It doesn't show the exact location here, but that would be too cool. By the way, yes, of course, all these switches here do work. Let's maybe go here into the, I think, the engineering section. Here's where we start off the engine. And I've never had to walk this kind of distance to actually reach the engineering panel, but here it is. We can see all these engines working well. Here we can see the heating elements, something like that. Really damn cool. I don't hate this at all. Fuel pump, that is so cool. Manual fuel pump. What? You can pump, can we pump fuel in this? There's no way. But something that's very important, of course, is now the cabin, which will reach here through the cabin door hatch. Wow, great. Yeah, of course, the cockpit was in the 2nd story above the passengers. So maybe go ahead and just go down the ladder here. I mean, in a real flight, you'd have lots of time to do that. And the luxury this plane gives you also makes, you know, long haul flights like this incredibly comfortable. So anyway, we have got like this bistro area once again with the wine glasses, but nothing more. We've got some private suites here with curtains that you could close. This comes close to like Emirates territory, especially for the time. I mean, we've got a proper private sink. I know why you would need a sink right there on your seat, but that's another story. Check this out. We've got some more seats here looking great. And of course, the last row of seats with whatever this is. I think that's probably like an exit door here. Really cool, stuff like that. You know, more seats. I wonder how much a ticket on this would have cost. Anyway, we've got some of this array here, which has like 4 seating arrangements. Really nice. And some bunk beds too. Yes, you could sleep on this thing. I guess some of the 11 planes had some versions where you could have a full sleeper. You know, red-eye flight. Really nice. Come on, let's maybe go upstairs here even more. And I think we can find the bathroom here. Yes. With a proper toilet here. No, it doesn't flush. That would have been a little bit too crazy. We've got a bit of a door here where we can see through. Of course, back in the days, windows were square on airplanes. And we are cruising still right now above the Mediterranean Sea. We're not fast at all. Cruising at around like 130 knots. We can go a bit faster. Come on. Yeah, but this plane would never hit like 400 kilometers an hour, which would make flying a bit slow. But you're so comfortable on here. Why would you have to leave? You'd probably be able to drink lots of wine and enjoy your flight. Until you didn't, and it crashed. Which is something that kind of often happened, apparently. Well, let's die. Yeah. That was a totally realistic Latécoère flight. Now again, this plane was built in 1942. And you know, World War II very quickly broke out. This is why the, construction of this plane was a bit haltered. And that's probably one of the reasons why only 11 of these planes were made. It's also probably that the plane was unreliable and uneconomic to operate. Probably the reason for that was that it only seated like, 46 people or something. Even though it was the biggest aircraft at the time, it was really not small. Anyway, the accident incidents list is quite long considering there were only like 10 planes of these built that went into service. October 31st, 1945, on an Air France flight from Rio de Janeiro to Montevideo in Uruguay, a propeller separated in flight and debris struck engine number 2. The propeller blade sized a 3-meter hole into the cabin, killing passengers. In 1948, a Latécoère crashed on a delivery flight. And that was due to icing. The plane lacked any icing protection system, which is a bit unfortunate. Air France flight ditched into the Atlantic Ocean for reasons unknown, with loss of all people on board. After that, the Latécoère was actually withdrawn from service by Air France. Another Latécoère 1950 crashed into the Atlantic. Also 1955, there was a wing separation, probably due to wind shear. Oh my god, a tropical storm. Yeah, this plane suffered a lot throughout its career. Overall, this plane had a really sad fate, even though it looked quite cool. I mean, it was way too expensive and crashed a lot. That's another story. But it might be time now to properly fly. Welcome to the island of St. Bartholomew. Here we can see the beautiful runway in the background. And while we are spawned into some relatively rough seas, which shouldn't be that much of an issue. Check this out. We can maybe even take off on our Latécoère. kind of starting to get the name in of this plane properly. Yeah, rough seas, but no issues at all for this airplane. So that might become an issue is maybe adding some icing. Hold on. Look at that here. Yeah, that is some proper icing. Oh, yeah. All right, this plane's not going to be able to fly properly. Yeah, but that's an English Channel classic. But there we go. We're actually flying pretty well. Despite rough seas, the long nose of the plane is here in the air and seems to be working quite well. Maybe we're not gaining speed at all. But anyway, this is a really cool concept. Yeah, it's the Latécoère taking a beautiful flight in the skies. For this add-on plane, you know, I very much love this. I love how they've been able to bake this plane incredibly perfectly, you know, with incredible perfect detail. I mean, the cabin oozes of little quirks and features, the Morse code. And I mean, come on, check out these bunk beds. There's actually a cabin crew bunk bed in front of the cabin, which is really nice. So some other things we can do here. Come on here. Hide the national flag. No. This even covers a dock. We can put a hole-on dock here. That is so cool. The engines are now covered. And we, of course, also, again, have this towing boat, which we can actually fully use here. Yes, now we are being towed by this boat. Isn't that super cool? We can steer it. So nice to see. You know, people online are actually debating whether this plane is actually the plane with the most switches for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, actually, I could believe that. So amazing, everybody. Get this airplane. God damn it. So, but the thing is, so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now, thank you very much to my highly supporting members like Jamie Ashton, Mike C, James Duram, Ragings, Met RLG, Matt Van Z, Moritz, Bellhausen, Knots Enthusiast, Shadow, New York, Ryland Williams, Kelly Chaos, John O'Brien, and I'm addicted to Airbus A380s. Thank you.